The video opens by pointing out that something about Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco's marriage hasn't sat right with people almost from the beginning. Not because of a big scandal, not because of a headline, but because of a feeling. The kind of feeling the internet picks up on before anyone officially says anything. This was supposed to be the honeymoon phase, the era where newlyweds can't stop touching, smiling, or showing up glued together. Instead, viewers started noticing small moments where that energy just wasn't there. Benny didn't look angry, but he didn't look excited either. Selena looked warm and engaged, while he often appeared distant, distracted, or emotionally checked out. And once people noticed it, they couldn't unsee it. The narrator explains how the internet works now, how viewers don't wait for tabloids anymore. They watch interviews, red carpets, and candid clips and start connecting dots on their own. The weird part is that nobody initially accused Benny of doing anything wrong. The question was simpler and more uncomfortable. Does he actually like her? That single question became the foundation for everything that followed. And once that question was planted, every future clip was watched through that lens. What was supposed to be a fairy tale beginning slowly started feeling like something else entirely. The biggest one came during a public outing where Selena reached for Benny's hand like any married couple would. Instead of instinctively grabbing it, he hesitated, not for a split second, but long enough for the moment to feel noticeable, long enough for TikTok to freeze the frame, replay it, and ask why it looked so awkward. The narrator describes how viewers began analyzing posture, eye contact, physical distance, and energy levels. Selena leaning in, Benny staying neutral, Selena smiling at fans, Benny appearing mentally elsewhere. None of these moments alone meant anything, but together they created a pattern people couldn't ignore. The narrator emphasizes that this wasn't about hate, it was about inconsistency. People expected newlywed chemistry and instead saw something closer to indifference. As clips piled up, the commentary shifted from "they're awkward" to "why does he look like he doesn't want to be there?" And once that narrative took hold, every new appearance became evidence. Whether fair or not, the body language became the story, and the internet decided it was watching a relationship unravel in real time.
Next, the narrator explains how Selena and Benny responded once the whispers grew louder. Instead of ignoring the noise, they leaned into reassurance. Cozy Christmas content appeared, smiling photos, cuddly videos, everything carefully curated to say, "Relax, we're good." But the narrator points out something important. When couples publicly try to prove happiness, the internet rarely calms down. In fact, it often does the opposite. Viewers started questioning timing. Why now? Why so suddenly? Why did it feel like a response instead of a natural moment? The narrator explains how reassurance content, especially when it appears right after criticism, can feel performative even if it's genuine. People began scrutinizing smiles, body positioning, and interactions even more closely than before. Instead of shutting down the rumors, the content fueled new ones. Some viewers felt the affection looked forced. Others said it felt like damage control. And once that idea entered the conversation, every future post was treated as a statement rather than a moment. The narrator stresses that this is how online narratives spiral, not because of facts, but because of timing, perception, and pattern recognition. The video then moves to the Golden Globes, where the scrutiny reached another level. The narrator describes how viewers immediately noticed the way Benny walked Selena through the crowd. He moved quickly, seemingly pulling her along, while she tried to stop and interact with fans. This small moment became symbolic to a lot of people. Some interpreted it as him being dismissive. Others saw it as him acting like the priority was getting through the crowd, not letting Selena be Selena. The narrator explains how comments flooded in, asking why he seemed rushed and why he appeared to be leading the moment instead of supporting it. But then, once they reached the carpet, everything shifted. They posed perfectly, smiled, looked polished and coordinated, and that contrast raised even more questions. Why did the dynamic change so dramatically the second cameras were fully on him? The narrator doesn't claim intent, but highlights how the switch made people suspicious. To the internet, it felt like two different versions of the same couple, one candid and uncomfortable, the other camera-ready and flawless. That disconnect kept the speculation alive. As the relationship analysis wasn't intense enough, the focus suddenly